Building collapses on the people below. 4 were hurt, others dived for cover.
Plus, it's all quiet now, but another cold front is heading to South Florida. What it means for the weekend.
And a local deputy rushed to the hospital after an accidental shooting. What he was doing right before the gun went off.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WPBF 25 News at 11.
The cleanup goes on tonight after part of a brick wall mural on the Alexander Historic Loft Building in downtown West Palm just came tumbling down, injuring 4. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Todd McDermott. The building's now off limits for safety reasons to the people who live there. It'll likely be closed for several days. Ari Height live on Fern Street in downtown West Palm Beach, where it happened. Ari?
And Todd, you can see behind me here, Fern Street here between Olive and Dixie, still closed tonight. Nobody allowed back there except for residents, but only for a very short time. We've seen them coming throughout the night, getting into that building, but only for a couple of minutes so they can grab some of their things and get out because, like you said, they're not going to be allowed back in there for a couple of days. And you can see that's the spot right there where the bricks came tumbling down off of that mural. The problem now is they're not sure if the bricks are done falling. Photos from inside the William & Price Law Office on Fern Street show the damage after bricks fell from a wall above, crashing through the roof. 4 people were injured.
You could clearly see that the roof came through, and there was debris that had actually come through the roof, and it just literally looks like a war zone in there.
It was kind of like a rolling thunder of booms nonstop for 3 to 4 seconds. And you could feel the sound getting closer and closer.
This was around 11 o'clock Thursday morning. Outside, you can see where the bricks dropped from, part of a mural on the side of the Alexander Lofts building. The mural was painted less than 2 years ago. City officials believe the problem was with metal attachments inside the wall. Attachments they say have been there for 60 or 70 years.
And the wall separated as a result of those attachments collapsing and failing, and that's what caused the collapse.
There are 85 units inside the Alexander Lofts building. 76 of them are occupied. Everybody had to be evacuated.
I literally just threw some clothes on. It was this morning. So we just got anything that was valuable and some clothing, and that's it.
The Red Cross set up inside the Hyatt Place downtown, helped residents find a place to stay, getting them rooms at hotels around the city.
The Red Cross has been here. They've been helpful. I guess if they weren't here, I don't know what we'd all be doing.
As long as we have a roof over our head and clean water and, you know, we can settle in something, but I'm sure they'll figure it out.
And back here live now, another look at where those bricks came tumbling down. I spoke to a representative of the owner of that building, and he tells me the latest inspection did show that the building is stable, but they are still going to keep residents out of the building for a couple of days because, again, they're just not sure if the bricks are done falling yet. That is the very latest. Reporting live from downtown West Palm Beach, Ari Height, WPBF 25 News.
Okay, Ari, thank you. Let's talk weather. Mostly clear skies across South Florida tonight, and as you can see, nice and warm following a day, second day in a row now that we've seen temperatures in the low 80s. Right now in the low 70s in Palm Beach County, upper 60s for areas of the Treasure Coast. Our first alert Doppler radar quiet. Again, skies clear here. Let's go up the Turnpike and I-95 a bit, and you can see showers, even storms are continuing across the southeastern coast of Georgia. That's because of a cool front that is making tracks toward us. Now overnight will be nice and quiet. Here we are just before sunrise tomorrow morning, mostly clear skies, but here comes the front. And as it moves through, it will increase cloud cover and give us a few isolated showers, primarily here in Palm Beach County. And you can see the time around 6 o'clock come tomorrow night. Once that front moves through, we're talking great weather for the weekend. Todd, we'll talk more about that when I'm back with your forecast in a couple minutes.
All right, Mike, thank you. Evidence lost by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office was front and center today in federal court. And so were possible sanctions against the PBSO and the shooting death of Seth Adams. The deputy in the case has already been cleared of any criminal wrongdoing. Terry Parker has more tonight on the victim's family's multi-million-dollar lawsuit and their outrage over that missing evidence.
Their attorney alleges that the sheriff's office intentionally lost or destroyed critical evidence in the case against the sheriff's office and Sergeant Michael Custer. The judge ruled that Custer's laptop, which was destroyed, was not destroyed on purpose to hide evidence. He also decided that over 1,000 emails that took the sheriff's office almost a year to produce were not delayed as a tactic to keep information out of the plaintiff's hands, but because of a software glitch and an intensive review process. And he said that GPS CPS information from that night that the sheriff's office originally said didn't exist was a problem, but could be corrected by the sheriff's office paying for the extra time it took Adams' attorneys to fight in court until the sheriff's office finally found it. The one thing he did call very disturbing is the destruction of Sergeant Custer's cell phone, which the judge said could have critical information on it. He wants to think about whether that was an intentional destruction and cover-up by the sheriff's office, and so will rule on that one item later. The Adams family attorney says at least the judge agreed the sheriff's office was negligent in its investigation.
The Adams are very, very disappointed in the fact that, not so much in what Judge Hurley ruled today, but the fact of the way the sheriff conducted the investigation in this case. That's what's upsetting. And with an acknowledgement, again, from the bench, while he didn't grant sanctions, a clear acknowledgement from the bench that the case has been handled negligently, carelessly by the sheriff's department. And that's very, very disturbing to someone whose son's been shot and killed.
That was Terry Parker reporting. The civil trial connected to the lawsuit has been delayed for at least a year now. New details tonight about the local woman charged in a high-profile murder-for-hire case and now facing a second trial. Court documents show Dottie DiPolito traveled to Miami to do a recent interview with the ABC network show 2020, and that apparently violated conditions of her house arrest. DiPolito's attorneys are trying to get the judge to dismiss all the charges against her. They claim police set her up to get on reality TV and violated her constitutional rights. She claims she was just acting when she asked a man to kill her husband and was caught in a police sting on camera. Her lawyer, Brian Claypool, recently said live on WPBF 25 News the judge will only let the case proceed because of public pressure. Wednesday, the judge denied the motion to dismiss and demanded that Claypool appear in his court to explain those comments. New at 11, a St. Lucie County Sheriff's deputy accidentally shot himself tonight during firearms training at the Fort Pierce gun range. Chief Deputy Gary Wilson, seen here in a past interview, was shot in the thigh. His injuries are fortunately not life-threatening. He was taken for treatment to Longwood Regional Medical Center. A child was caught with a gun today at Woodland Middle School in Lake Worth, leading to a disturbing call to parents.
Today, a student was found to be in possession of a handgun on campus. While the gun was unloaded and missing parts, we have a zero tolerance for possession of weapons on campus.
The school principal says students turned in their fellow classmate. Representatives of the Palm Beach County School District say that student was seriously disciplined. A fire forced the Green Acres family out of their condominium today. It started about 5 p.m. on Sea Pine Way. When firefighters got there, they say high flames, heavy smoke were pouring from the first floor windows. Most of the family's belongings were destroyed in the fire.
My baby clothes and stuff, so they all messed up.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Paramedics on the Treasure Coast are about to have a new way to keep themselves and their patients safe when dealing with the effects of the dangerous street drug Flocka. Indian River County medics will carry a drug in their medical arsenal to control and sedate out-of-control patients high on Flocka. It's called ketamine. Paramedics already use the medication in Broward County, which has been ground zero for Flocka in South Florida.
It'll knock them out, but it won't hurt them in any way, shape, or form. It'll allow us to be able to treat them.
Indian River County Fire Rescue expects to train and equip their medics with ketamine in the next 2 weeks. Starting this coming weekend, the Army Corps of Engineers is going to reduce the amount of water flowing out of Lake Okeechobee into Treasure Coast waterways. The discharges are the targets of protests because of the pollution the lake water causes. People who live there and business leaders say toxic water from Lake Okeechobee is spilling into the local waterways and hurting the environment. In January, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers opened up the floodgates to prevent the lake from actually putting strain on the dike that surrounds Lake O. The lake level has since dropped to half a foot since its peak of more than 16 feet, a dangerous level for the dike. Now to another major issue on the Treasure Coast, a problem between All Aboard Florida and Martin County leaders. They say they're still waiting for a response from the people behind the high-speed rail project over safety concerns. The county sent the president of All Aboard Florida a letter outlining those concerns back in November. They asked him to explain how the train service would impact response times for police and firefighters, as well as paramedics. They also want to address safety issues caused by the increased use of the train tracks and increased use of the railroad crossings. The county also expressed concerns that the added cost of maintenance along the rail line will be passed on to taxpayers. A bill to expand the use of medical marijuana for patients with terminal illnesses just passed the Florida House. It expands the Right to Try Act, allowing patients near death to use non-smokable marijuana of all strengths and dosages to find relief. It also adds regulations for dispensing organizations, patients, and doctors covered under a law put in place 2 years ago. Now, a bill similar to the House legislation is in the hands of the state Senate. Florida's back-to-school sales tax holiday is getting scaled back a lot this year. A key Senate panel approved a bill today that cuts back the tax holiday from 10 full days to just 3 days in August. During that time, shoppers will still be able to buy clothing and school supplies without paying any sales tax. But the tax holiday is limited to clothing that costs $60 or less, and computers are not included. Coming up on WPBF 25 News, sparks fly tonight.
Game on for the Final Four. I'm Sally Kidd in Washington with the highlights of tonight's GOP debate.
Plus, the newest way to fight Zika, and what it has to do with your laundry detergent. And a slithering surprise for the snake. What was found inside the belly of the python? Mike?
And Todd, we're still tracking rain just to our north, now moving into Jacksonville in the northern part of the state. These are showers that will be in South Florida tomorrow. We'll time the cool front and talk about the great weekend and the great stretch of weather just around the corner.
As you make your decision on who you want to lead, turn to the local leader in political coverage. WPBF 25 News. Commitment 2016 is our promise to you. From local races and issues to the national stage, we devote more time to breaking political coverage than any other local station. On TV, mobile, and social. Plus Emmy-nominated truth tests cutting through the clutter. Commitment 2016 coverage. Every day, every newscast. Only on WPBF 25 News.
Join the thousands of South Floridians who've made the switch to Volkswagen. Now you can experience the thrill of German engineering for thousands less than you'd expect to pay. From the all-new Jetta, roomier than Civic or Corolla, to the turbocharged Tiguan SUV with more power than RAV4 or CR-V. Even the all-new Volkswagen Passat is on sale now, and all are available with $0 down. There's never been a better time than now to drive a Volkswagen. Save thousands this week.
Toes, noses,
eyes.
Hormones know too.
Dogs know.
Kids know.
St. Augustine knows.
Dads know.
Guys who peaked in high school know.
Oh yeah, this guy? He definitely knows. Scott's Bonus S, the #1 trusted brand in the South. It's good out here.
The Fat Cat Wellington Insiders have picked their man, Mike Drehas. On the planning board, Drehas voted to protect developers from code violations and in favor of massive development inside the equestrian preserve. Drehas means more traffic, more development, more control for developers. That's why the Fat Cat developers are backing Drehas. Remember, Drehas sold us out to the Fat Cat developers, and he can't be trusted.
$998, $999. Jimmy, we have over 1,000 Ram trucks available.
I know. I ordered them.
It's Ram Truck Month.
Get great deals on Rams, like new quad cabs from just $249 a month during Truck Month at Arrigo.
You gotta go Arrigo.
Once in a great while, Broadway celebrates something extraordinary. Matilda the Musical.
At the Kravis Center, March 1st through the 6th. For tickets, visit kravis.org.
And then there were four. The GOP's final four candidates for the White House met in another raucous primetime debate tonight on the Fox News channel. The debate came the same day the party's most recent nominee for president denounced frontrunner Donald Trump as, quote, a phony and a fraud.
The insults were flying back and forth as two of Donald Trump's rivals piled on.
Answer the economy.
You haven't employed in your life one
but
person.
He doesn't answer
I've
the
employed tens of thousands of people.
Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz went after frontrunner Donald Trump.
The voters have a right to know.
No, you're the liar. You're the lying guy up here.
Rubio answering why he's ramping up the personal attacks, like claiming Trump has small hands.
So if there's anyone who's ever deserved to be attacked that way, it's been Donald Trump for the way he's treated people.
Look at those hands. Are they small hands?
While John Kasich stayed above the fray.
And people say everywhere I go, you seem to be the adult on the stage.
Trump answered 2012 Republican nominee Mitt Romney's charge that the GOP frontrunner isn't fit for the nomination.
He failed miserably, and it was an embarrassment to everybody, including the Republican Party.
Trump's opponents say he does not represent the conservative movement.
2/3 of the people who have cast a vote in a Republican primary or caucus have voted against you. They do not want you to be our nominee.
I keep hearing that he's the only one that can beat me, but he's getting beaten very, very badly.
Cruz made a direct appeal to Trump supporters.
For 40 years, Donald has been part of the corruption in Washington that you're angry about.
The candidates also fielded questions on foreign policy, immigration, and the economy.
I'm the only person on this stage who actually was the chief architect of balancing the federal budget. It's not a theory for me.
Republicans have two more debates on the calendar. The next one is coming up on March 10th in Florida. That's a key state with winner-take-all delegates for the candidate who wins the primary on March 15th. Reporting from Washington, I'm Sally Kidd.
Our thanks to Sally. Again, about 12 hours ago, 2012 GOP nominee Mitt Romney spoke in Utah and denounced Trump, calling him basically unfit to be the nominee and urging the Republican establishment to make sure he is not nominated. Democratic candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders hold their next debate Sunday in Flint, Michigan. Trump's GOP rival, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, picked up an important endorsement today from his hometown newspaper. The Miami Herald calls Rubio the best remaining candidate with a mostly positive message and a practical chance to win the nomination. Rubio has a home in West Miami. In the endorsement, the Herald editorial board said Rubio is the only Republican nominee who can unify the party while also appealing to Democrats and independents. Speaking of endorsements, Governor Rick Scott says he will not endorse a candidate ahead of the state's primary March 15th. The governor says he will, quote, trust the voters to decide who should be the GOP nominee. If you haven't already, now's a good time to download the WPBF 25 News app. We post updates from the presidential candidates and all your news, and we have a wrap-up of tonight's Republican presidential debate as well. By the way, that app is free for your Apple or Android device. Where they're creepy and they're crawly, and they're now in Florida, and they are super lice that spread to 25 states now. Doctors say getting rid of these bugs is not easy. The usual over-the-counter treatments are only effective in about 1 out of every 4 cases. There's a Food and Drug Administration treatment for super lice that uses hot air to dehydrate the lice and their eggs. Researchers in Chile say they've come up with a new weapon in the battle against the Zika virus. It's a mosquito repellent that you can wash into your clothes. They claim the new substance interrupts a mosquito's reproductive cycle and that by adding it to detergent in a simple clothing washer, a person could be protected from the mosquito for up to a day. It still has to undergo more testing, but researchers say that it could be ready for the market soon. Right now, there are 47 confirmed cases of Zika in the state of Florida, none in Palm Beach County or on the Treasure Coast. All of those cases in the U.S. are related to overseas travel. All new at 11, an Uber driver facing charges after authorities say he crashed into a tour bus and then fought with police. Police in California said early this morning the driver ran a red light and crashed into an empty charter tour bus. Both vehicles were totaled. Witnesses say when the driver failed a DUI test, he scuffled with officers who tried to arrest him. A spokesperson for Uber says the driver was not working during the time of that crash. 25 years ago today, Rodney King was beaten by police officers on a Los Angeles street while a camera caught the brutality for all the world to see. King, a black man, was released 2 days later. No charges. A full year later, 4 white police officers were acquitted of criminal charges in that videotaped beating. That sparked violent riots. Almost 20 years later, exactly, King was found dead in his swimming pool. A 6-foot python is in sickbay recovering after making a snack out of a bear, a stuffed teddy bear. The python gobbled up the toy at a picnic. There's the toy. Did you see it? We get a brief shot of it. Snake catcher noticed the unusual bulge in the python. X-rays reveal the teddy bear. Veterinarian surgically removed the teddy bear, the snake, on antibiotics for 2 weeks while 15 stitches heal. And after going through several wash cycles, we're happy to report the teddy bear is back with its owner and out of the python.
Several wash cycles, huh?
I'm not sure there could ever be enough.
Hey, let's talk weather. It's quiet now. We've got a few high clouds passing across South Florida. Cool front in tomorrow, but unlike the fronts we've been dealing with so far this winter, this one will move through gently. Just a couple of showers. Then we got some great weather as we head toward the weekend. Let's begin with a look outside. There we go, Todd. You can see the clouds. They were fairly thick, especially across parts of Palm Beach County earlier today. Now they're kind of retreating off toward the southeast as that cool front in the southern part of Georgia comes our way. Ahead of the front, it's warm. In fact, tomorrow we're expecting temperatures in the 80s. Then we cool down just in time for a great weekend. I think most of next week looks good too. 72 right now in West Palm, 60s along the Treasure Coast around Lake Okeechobee. Current temperature is 63 degrees. Radar again is quiet here. We travel up the road. You can see the showers and the storms. We're not expecting any kind of storm activity tomorrow. And frankly, most of us will be bone dry, just a few isolated showers. So let me track that rain. Here we are with the clouds across South Florida moving away during the overnight hours. You're out the door tomorrow morning. Should see lots of sunshine. And again, those warm temperatures in the low to mid-range of the 70s, rising quickly into the 80s. Then as we head toward midday, the front starts to swing through. Here we are, 12 o'clock, couple of showers on the Treasure Coast. Again, no big deal as the front swings through. Later in the afternoon, a couple more showers in parts of Palm Beach County. Again, I think most of us will be dry. Then by tomorrow night, the sky is clear. The air drops in terms of temperatures, and we get some really nice weather coming our way. Again, tonight, looking warm. Overnight lows in the 60s. Daytime highs tomorrow ahead of that front. It'll be warm again the third consecutive day with high temperatures in the 80s. But then that's it. Look at Saturday. Look at Sunday. Mid-70s. Nice little breeze both days. Monday and Tuesday, temperatures in the mid-70s. A slow warming trend as we head through the middle part of next week. So again tonight, partly cloudy, mild, overnight lows in the 60s. Across South Florida tomorrow, kind of a mix of sun and clouds, warm, a westerly breeze, and again, a couple of quick showers. For boating, tomorrow is fine. The weekend, not so good. The winds will pick up. The waves will get rough this weekend. Seas about 1 to 2 feet. Inland water's nice and smooth. First alert, 7-day forecast. Here we go. As you can see, that little bump in the road tomorrow with a few quick showers. Highs in the 80s. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday of next week. The hits, they keep on coming with temperatures in the 70s, warming slowly to the 80s about a week from today.
Ooh, that looks good. Mike, thank you. Right now, thousands of music fans are looking forward to the inaugural 3-day Okeechobee Music Festival. The county's first ever music fest kicks off Friday, runs through Sunday. Some of the big names, Kendrick Lamar, Skrillex, the Avett Brothers, and Mumford & Sons. 3-day general pass costs $260. That's for the 3 days, though. Still ahead, an 11-year-old golfer becomes an overnight sensation. He's got a nice pal to play with, too. Amazing shot he made right in front of Tiger Woods. First, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Look at what we did. Here we go. We'll put it up on the screen. In Ben Carson's bedroom, there was a phone and a red balloon. And Ben and Jesus jumping over the moon.
First Alert Weather is sponsored by the law firm of Kibbe Wagner.
A new car isn't just a purchase, it's an event. No one understands that better than Schumacher. 18 car lines, luxury, muscle, everything in between. An astounding pre-owned and certified used inventory. Customer service aimed at making you feel like family.
With our new stores in Delray, Schumacher now has 18 car lines to serve South Florida.
Schumacher, West Palm, North Palm, and now Delray Beach.
Know you can keep your financial big picture under control. Know you can see how much you have to spend and whether you should transfer funds. Know keep track of what you're putting away. And know you're budgeted for the great escape. Thanks to Virtual Wallet by PNC.
I asked Donald Trump 3 times if he would disavow the support of David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, I have to look at the group.
Trump refuses to denounce the KKK. Think about that. For president?
Ronald Reagan made us believe that it was morning in America again. Well, now the children of the Reagan Revolution are ready to assume the mantle of leadership.
Conservative Solutions PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising.
This is my office. As a scientist for U.S. Sugar, I use the latest environmental technology to protect the water and the land.
The good news is we're making progress. At U.S. Sugar, we're meeting America's most stringent water quality standards on our farms and preserving the soil by rotating our crops with vegetables and sweet corn.
Because this isn't just where we work, it's where we live. U.S. Sugar, farming naturally.
Renaissance Charter School at Wellington takes your child's education personally. Parents, students, and caring teachers work side by side to create personal learning plans for each student. Visit our campus and see for yourself why so many parents have chosen Renaissance Charter School at Wellington. Visit wellingtoncharter.org for important information, session dates, or to apply online. Greatness starts here. Seats are filling fast. Apply today at wellingtoncharter.org.
The newest launch time for SpaceX's 5th try from the Cape is set. They'll try again tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. High-altitude winds force them to scrub Tuesday night's launch of the Falcon 9 rocket for the 4th time. Weather and technical problems have caused each delay. The rocket will carry a navigational satellite for Asia into orbit. 3 airlines are bidding for daily flights from South Florida to Cuba, including one airline that wants to fly to Havana out of West Palm Beach. Silver Airways wants to add 2 daily flights from Havana to West Palm. The airline officially applied for the new flights with the U.S. Department of Transportation this week. The federal government is expected to decide whether to approve that plan sometime this summer. Someone in South Florida could be a multimillionaire right now. They have to turn in the ticket, though, because last night's winning Powerball ticket worth $291 million was sold at the Tom Thumb convenience store in Marathon down in the Keys. The winning numbers right there on your screen: 12, 13, 44, 52, 62, and the Powerball was 6. The winner hasn't come forward. Remember, a Melbourne beach couple won 1/3 of that record $1.5 billion jackpot earlier this year. Now, your winning numbers tonight. You're watching WPBF 25 News.
Beach and boating forecast sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
The flu virus hits big with aches, chills, and fever. There's no such thing as a little flu, and it needs a big solution: an antiviral.
So when the flu hits, call your doctor right away and up the ante with antiviral Tamiflu. Prescription Tamiflu is an antiviral that attacks the flu virus at its source and helps stop it from spreading in the body. Tamiflu is FDA approved to treat the flu in people 2 weeks of age and older whose flu symptoms started within the last 2 days. Before taking Tamiflu, tell your doctor if you're pregnant, nursing, have serious health conditions, or take other medicines. If you develop an allergic reaction, a severe rash, or signs of unusual behavior, stop taking Tamiflu and call your doctor immediately. Children and adolescents in particular may be at an increased risk of seizures, confusion, or abnormal behavior. The most common side effects are mild to moderate nausea and vomiting. Anti-flu? Go antiviral with Tamiflu.
It's here, the Ross Spring Dress Event. Looking for a new spring dress for the latest styles, where you'll spend less. You gotta go to Ross. These are the same great brands you'll find at department stores. Florals and lace? Check. Patterns or solids? Take your pick. So be pretty in yellow, navy, or white. Or at Ross prices, get them all. The Ross Spring Dress Event on now.
This Saturday, the Rooms to Go 25th anniversary sale begins, celebrating 25 years of savings and innovation.
25 years of exceptional service, style, and quality.
25 years of constantly changing and improving to make buying furniture better, easier, and more affordable.
And as America's largest independent furniture company, we worked with our suppliers to give us unprecedented 25th anniversary buys.
Extra special anniversary savings store-wide.
At the amazing Rooms to Go 25th anniversary sale.
Starting this Saturday.
For decades, we've protected the Wellington Equestrian Preserve. Now, powerful